Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about how Netflix got scammed out of $11 million. They gave this guy $11 million to make his dream show, and he took all the money that was supposed to be for production, and he spent it on cars and a mattress.
Two mattresses.
Two mattresses. Yeah, so this is like somebody like stealing Kickstarter money or something. It's kind of like I went and bought myself.
This is a lot more
shit.
money than that. And now this is 11 million here. That was the second amount of money. They said, and if you read the article, he got 50 some million initially.
Yes. So this is wild. The amounts of money that we're dealing with in Hollywood, and a company like Netflix obviously confront all kinds of money because they've got it, in the couch cushions. But still, we're dealing with insane amounts of money being given to people who do not give these companies a return on their investment. We'll also talk about J.J. Abrams, how we don't hear anything about this, but he apparently got $500 million for this Warner Brothers deal that he didn't produce anything really for. And then he was turned around like he was supposed to have this exclusive deal, and he went and he was going to do a Speed Racer show or something with Apple. Like, I just can't wrap my head around being given that kind of money. And it's never enough. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she was another one. She got, $60 to $100 million. And I'm like, man, a normal person, $5 to $10 million in the bank, live off interest, you're set for life, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money, but no. Let's go buy Ferraris and mattresses,
Yeah, and it seems like you could just not do anything or fail, and you're still rewarded for it. It's ridiculous.
Insane.
This is the new Hollywood accounting.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more, more.clownfishtv.com. Help support the channel. Get exclusive content. You can join the forums. And this helps Clownfish TV because Netflix is not giving us $11 million to blow and Ferraris and stuff. Fortune has this. He sent over, Netflix gave him $11 million to make his dream show. Instead, prosecutors say he spent it on a Rolls Royce, a Ferrari, and wildly expensive mattresses.
Yeah, so this guy's getting prosecuted. But then we don't know what happened with Abrams or Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but they probably didn't do much, and you're not hearing about them getting prosecuted.
No,
I don't. They gave it back, or there's some other loophole.
Well, they would have to press charges, and it's a bad look, is it? But no, I think what's going on is they basically give the money to their company, and then there probably is like a term, like we're giving you, $500 million, and we get a first look on your whatever for the next, 10 years.
Yeah, but in his case, I think it was supposed to be exclusive. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
And I remember there was some backlash because he took all that money, he won a bidding war, and then he turned around and he was like developing shows for Apple or something. I was like,
yeah, I remember because we were talking about that. Like, wait a minute,
what is going on?
But apparently that's okay. But this 11 million is a step too far.
Yeah. So, well, he's not J.J. Abrams, right? So this is Carl Rinsch. I don't know. He was the guy behind 47 Ronin. But he's also
supposed to do Logan's Run and the Alien too, but then they both ended up with other people.
Yeah. And, on his Wikipedia page, they're talking about his arrest in March and for wire fraud and money laundering. But again, it's weird. A guy like this, and this is by Netflix standards, this is a relatively small sum of money, right? But they're going to go after him and not the bigger people out there, right? Maybe you have to hide in plain sight. Maybe you need to like have a massive PR campaign underneath you. So if anybody comes after you, they know it's going to be a shitstorm and they're going to lose a bunch of money or whatever that way. But federal prosecutor, he was supposed to do, so they gave him $44 million to do something called White Horse. So this is 5 years ago. According to the federal indictment, the show was never completed and not a single episode aired.
Yeah, but they turned around and gave him another $11 million in March of 2020 to finish the series.
He probably pleaded poverty and was like, well, the cost of production and the strikes and blah, 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 I need more money. And they gave it to him and they went and bought a bunch of sports cars. Instead, federal prosecutors say Rinsch diverted nearly all of those funds into personal brokerage accounts, lost half of it on speculative stock trades, made it back through crypto, and then went on a massive shopping spree that included 5 Rolls Royces, 1 Ferrari, and 2 handcrafted Swedish mattresses that together cost $638,000, more than most people spend on their house.
So wait a minute. So he gets this money. He loses half of it because he makes bad stock deals. Then he gets it all back through cryptocurrency and then spends it again anyway on something he can't get the money back on.
You can't fix stupid. I'm like, dude, like, this is what people were actually speculating was going on with Disney and some of these other studios, that they were, during the pandemic, they were actually gambling the money, trying to make more money, trying to make more profit that way, and losing.
They were saying it was crypto. That was Chapek, wasn't it?
Chapek, they think, was involved in that, and I do believe there were some companies that were doing that. I think a lot of tech companies were doing that. They're like, well, we can stick the money in a bank account, or we can gamble it on crypto if the returns are guaranteed. And I think some of these companies lost, and they lost their shirts on. But this guy actually this is what blows my mind. So he made some really bad choices. He blew all the money, and then he got all the money back, but then he blew it again.
Yeah, unless then I can think of, he saw other people doing this kind of stuff, other people, that were directors that might have had deals,
right,
doing this kind of stuff, and then they're like, well, they're allowed to do it, so I'll do it too. But unfortunately, he's the one that's in trouble. He's the one that gets to be the example.
Well, I think that's it. I think if he were, like I said, if he were a J.J. Abrams or a Spielberg or somebody, bigger in Hollywood, I don't think he would have gotten pinched for it. But they're gonna be like,
not like that, yeah. But I mean, in my opinion, I don't know that, but that's my opinion. Is something like, we needed somebody to make an example of, so the rest of them don't pull this shit.
Yes, and with
that's
bigger sums of money.
But yes.
Bigger sums of money too. So this guy, 48, attended his trial in a Manhattan federal courtroom Tuesday, facing charges of wire fraud, money laundering, and unlawful monetary transactions that carry a combined maximum penalty of 90 years in prison. He has pleaded not guilty and declined to discuss a plea deal. His lead attorney did not immediately respond to Fortune's request for comment, but he told Business Insider Mr. Rinsch is looking forward to the opportunity to show that these charges are not founded and that he's completely innocent. So
he might be, because why else would you not take it in a plea deal,
Right. So in 2018, Netflix, this is when they were all going on spending sprees. This is when Abrams got his deal and Phoebe Waller-Bridge got her first deal. They were all trying to lock down streaming content, right? So this is 2018. Netflix outbid Amazon, HBO, Apple, and others to secure White Horse, later renamed Conquest, a dystopian thriller about an artificial human-like species. Keanu Reeves, who was in 47 Ronin, served as an early investor and mentor on the project.
You didn't screw Keanu Reeves, did you?
I hope not. Why would you? Don't screw over Keanu Reeves.
Don't mess with Keanu Reeves.
So according to the New York Times, Netflix agreed to pay $61 million for the rights to the series, and also granted Rinsch something he had only previously given a handful of directors final cut. In other words, he'd have the last word on the version of his show that would air. And this came from a guy that made
weird. He just did one thing, really, and then
it bombed. Production hit problems almost immediately. He exceeded budgets during shoots in Brazil, Uruguay, and Hungary. And by December of 2019, filming had stalled with no episodes completed. Netflix executives agreed to provide the additional $11 million in the hopes of salvaging the project, according to court documents. So he probably was like, oh, no, guys, I have some episodes that are almost done. I just need a little more money, and I can get it done. As he's like, yeah.
So he must have been able to prove that the other money was spent on the show.
Probably.
It's just this $11 million that's up for debate.
Okay. So instead, prosecutors allege he transferred almost all the $11 million into his personal brokerage account within weeks of receiving it, losing more than half through speculative options trades on a biopharmaceutical company and an S&P 500 ETF. All while telling Netflix executive Cindy Holland the project was going awesome and game-changing good. This sounds like a Netflix show. This sounds like it could be a Netflix show.
You probably get more money for making a show about this than you would be running this show.
I mean, this is talk about a grift, right? I mean, you want to talk grift? This is grifting. This is, I just need $11 million, guys, and I'll get this thing back in tip-top shape.
So here we go. Okay. So then after that, he later invested the remaining funds in cryptocurrency and generated roughly $10 million in gains, which prosecutors said he spent on luxury goods, credit card debt, divorce attorneys, and legal fees incurred in suing Netflix for additional payments.
Oh my God.
So this is why he's being an example. He took the money, blew it, got some $10 million of it back, and then used some of the money to sue Netflix to try to get him to give him more money.
Oh my God.
That's what it sounds like from what they're saying.
Yes. This guy's just, I mean, you want to talk about.
God, I would watch this show.
I would watch this show just to see this guy just kind of bumble his way through.
Wreck.
Okay, so he bought these two mattresses. One of them was a $400,000 Hastings Grand Vividus mattress in black, and the other was a $210,000 Vividus mattress in white. Two of the most expensive mattresses in the world, both custom made in Sweden. But get this, he later claimed the beds were intended as props for a second season that Netflix never ordered. No, he's probably banging people on the mattresses.
Well, I was going to say, I wouldn't get on a black mattress. I mean, call me crazy, but
Get the black plate after the black mattress. Oh my God. Who spends $400,000 on a fucking mattress?
Wait, it gets better.
Okay.
His defense is he had a state of psychosis because he was temporarily insane. He was temporarily insane, and that's why he did it. So his defense is going to argue that his mental state rendered him incapable of forming the intent required for fraud. They said that his lawyers planned to call the psychiatrist, Dr. John, I can't read it on my screen, Mariani,
yeah,
who was expected to testify that this guy was in a state of psychosis during the relevant period. So it was temporary. He only had the psychosis when this money was there.
Did he have it twice? Did he it's crazy and I spent all the money and then, oh my God, guys, I got the money back. And they went crazy again, spend it again.
Wait, because it was exacerbated by his prescription stimulants during the COVID-19 pandemic. They didn't who was going around giving you stimulants for COVID-19?
So he's a crazy crackhead.
So he got
millions of
prescription stimulants, but it's okay because he was given the stimulants during COVID-19.
Oh my God.
The defense, however, stated that not making any argument or submitting any evidence that he was or is insane. He was temporarily insane because he has taken stimulants during the pandemic. But that was, I'm trying to put this together. What does stimulants have to do with pandemic?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's basically just grasping at straws. Like, look, you are a crazy drug addict, probably, and they gave you a bunch of money and they shouldn't have because you had one movie that was a huge failure. And because of this, we're not going to see new things.
That's right. This person doing this, other people who deserve a chance are going to get the chance. Netflix has already won an $11.8 million civil arbitration award against him, who is now described by his public defenders as indignant and unemployed.
Well, then give him more money.
The trial before U.S. District Judge, was expected to last 2 weeks and featured testimony from former Netflix executives, including that Cindy Holland, who acquired the project when she served as vice president of original content.
Oh, my God.
She has since been hired by Paramount. And they're going to compete with Netflix. So this guy, in a nutshell, took some of the money that he was given, blew it, made it back, and then used it for divorce attorneys and to sue Netflix for more money because he was hopped up on stimulants, which make total sense because it happened during COVID-19, according to their argument.
So this is what a $400,000.
You wouldn't see the mattress in the movie; it would be covered. So what difference does it make?
Because he's just writing shit off, and he's buying Rolls Royce. God,
yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm just gonna write. I mean, in my opinion, I'm gonna make sure I preface with that. You were buying what you wanted, and then you were trying to say it was for production when it wasn't. It was probably for you.
Okay, so I don't know exactly how it works with Netflix. If they just wire people ridiculous amounts of money or whatever. If you're going to send that much money to a person's production company and it's a co-production with Netflix. If it were me, I'd be like, you know what? Every month I need a detailed breakdown of where the money's going. And we also have to have our bean counters here oversee the money because it is at the end of the day our money, right? Like yes. If it were me.
I mean, and I'm assuming that the other money was spent on the show. So my next comment I was going to say was, well, why aren't they just having somebody else finish the show then, so they're not out all that money?
Well, he
or
had
are they
final
going to benefit? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it might be that they could
more because they're not going after all the money.
You know what? I would be like, at this point, your final cut, that's bullshit. We paid $40 million, whatever for the show.
An idiot for even allowing it because it's like the guy had one movie before and it failed.
So this is what keeps happening, though. I mean, it's like Mindy Kaling got hurt. Well, some of these deals are walking back, but they were giving out money like freaking candy, like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Still, like I don't know what else she's done other than Fleabag that's made money, but they've been giving her tens of millions of dollars since 2019. and she doesn't really have much to show for it. And these people just keep taking this money. And what they do is they're hoping that lightning is going to strike and they're going to get that money back plus some, going forward. But I can tell you, because of the situation in Hollywood right now, the way that things are and the economy and all that, the studios are not going to spend money like this anymore because they've gotten burnt too many times.
Well, she ruined Bond. She ruined Indiana Jones. Then they were going to let her do Tomb Raider. Why the flip would you give her more money? I don't understand it. Again, Netflix, Amazon, etc. I'm offering our services that you can pay us, a few $1 million to look at a project and tell you if it's going to suck or not. We will save you hundreds of millions of dollars. We're also, because we're just being consultants, aren't going to run off with your damn money.
Yeah, this is like, there needs to be more oversight in this. So this is just a couple of years ago. They said, Phoebe Waller-Bridge still earning a $90 million deal despite not making anything since Fleabag. And in fact, everything she touches tends to turn to shit. It turns to shit. She's anti-money. See also Mindy Kaling.
Well, I guess they switched it. It was supposed to be like a exclusive, and then it went to First Look. So I guess they renewed it earlier this year, but it switched from exclusive to First Look. So I'm sure she's not getting as much money now. No,
but still millions of dollars in the off chance that someday maybe you might make something. Meanwhile, you've got scrappy young filmmakers, animators, content creators out there making shit every day, and some of it winds up being popular on its own organically, and they're making it on a shoestring budget. But you're going to give these people tens of millions of dollars to make nothing.
Well, she said she was brought in initially to work on that Mr. and Mrs. Smith series with Donald Glover, and then she exited the project soon after. But she's still,
boring as hell. Yeah.
And now she's doing Tomb Raider, which we know is going to be a clusterfuck.
That's going to be a disaster. It is. So I just don't. Look, I'm going to be honest. You need to fire your fucking executives. You need to fire the people at the top. If they think it's okay, like, I would want to see a return on that money. It's just like anything else. You give somebody that much money to work with, I get, there's the artists and they got whatever. It's like, no, bitch. Every month, I give you $100 million. You got to tell me where that money is going. I need to see that money going someplace. I need to see something.
I'm looking at this. They said, well, she's a perfectionist. Well, so what? You need to do your job. And they said that the larger question remains, why is Amazon keeping Waller-Bridge on retainer? The British star's name has been attached to numerous works for the streaming giant since 2019, but none of them have been released.
Yeah, and this was 2 years ago, and nothing has been released.
Now it's First Look. Now it's a First Look deal.
First Look, which basically is, and look, a lot of people have First Look deals. We got a First Look deal. It doesn't mean shit. It means you give them the right to say yes or no, and then they will give you money. And a lot of times they'll just sit on it for years, you know? But in this case, I mean, this is an obscene amount of money to not get anything in return.
No.
And again, I think you're right. I think this guy, I mean, this was very egregious, but I would argue that this is kind of business as usual in Hollywood, where these people take a bunch of money.
That's what he probably was thinking, and he's probably like, well, everybody else is doing, I'm going to do it too. But in his case, they're going to go after him, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, he tried to sue them for more money. Big mistake. And two, I think, they're making an example out of someone that's, considered lower than going after the big wigs because they're afraid it might bite them in the ass. But how much money are these studios wasting on projects that never get developed? And I bet my money's on a lot.
I would say at this point, since a lot of the shit that you shovel on your platform is not really worth it anyway, you need to see something. You need to put a couple episodes up, even if those episodes are god awful and you're never going to do anything else with the show. You need to put them up just to prove that, like, we spent money, it just didn't work.
Well, here's the thing: they keep raising the prices on the subscribers to pay for stuff like this,
to pay for shit like
for
this,
Waller-Bridge and for J.J. Abrams and this idiot and stuff. And so they keep raising subscription prices. And how much does it need to be raised in reality? And how much is it being raised for all the losses that are going out the back end that we never even hear about?
Yeah.
Because for every Stranger Things in the budget for that, they've lost 10 or 20 other ones that in the back end. That they're making the subscribers pay for content they're never going to get.
Well, that's the thing too, and same with the movies. Like, we talked about Zootopia 2. It's like, Zootopia 2 made a lot of money, but how many movies did Disney put out that lost money and they're still digging themselves out of that hole? Like, these studios are not efficient. They don't run efficiently. There's so much bloat and so much waste. But then what they do is they're like, we're just going to use AI. I'm like, you know what? You don't need to use AI for everything. You just don't give idiots like this tens of millions of dollars to go buy $400,000 mattresses.
Don't give Phoebe Waller-Bridge $90 million.
Don't give
to,
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Don't give
maybe
J.J.
your Tomb
Abrams
Raider.
$500 million to piss away. I mean, it's not. This is not hard. So what they do is they fire normal people. They fire normal people working normal jobs, normal salaries. We're going to save money with AI. Again, don't give these idiots hundreds of millions of dollars to burn, and you'll be fine. But no.
Yeah, look what condition Warner's in now. I mean, honestly, if they got sold after that, so that deal probably, it possibly it was part of the when it got sold or things got changed hands. It just kind of like was dissolved and got let go.
That's one thing can happen.
And that's what happens too. Like if you're one of the people that have power, that it can magically go away when things change hands. So.
Ava
DuVernay.
DuVernay, yeah, the Wrinkle in Time, whatever. Yeah, hers like disappeared. I remember like they were buying people out of their contracts because they're like, yeah, we don't have the money for this shit.
But those people still got the money.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately people who might have good ideas aren't going to get a turn because they didn't have the name to begin with, and now people that did have the name may have abused the system potentially, and because of it, I have to be really careful here, and
possibly.
We all, what I think. Y'all know what I'm thinking. And they abuse.
It's all one big scam. All of it. It's all like the
Hollywood's a scam. Say it ain't so. I never would have guessed. It's not all just, weird accounting and bullshit. No, never.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up.
We're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.